ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वर्ष नंबर 310। निगृह्य शत्रो अहमोऽवकाशा क्वचिन्न देयो विषयानुचिन्तया स एव सञ्जीवन हेतुरस्य प्रक्षीण जंबीर तरोरिवाम्बु। I repeat one more time. निगृह्य शत्रो अहमोऽवकाशा क्वचिन्न देहो विषयानुचिन्तया स एव सञ्जीवन हेतुरस्य प्रक्षीण जंबीर तरोरिवाम्बु। The meaning is, having once conquered this enemy, the ego, not a single moment's rest should be given to let it ruminate over the sense objects that it just won't bring it back to life, just like water revives a dried up citron tree. The translation again. Overpowering this enemy, egoism, not a moment's respite should be given to it by thinking on sense objects. That is verily the cause of its coming back to life, like water to a citron tree has almost dried up. The topic is continued. Same thing is being explained by Shankaracharya. He is cautioning to seeker who is an advanced stage. If someone have won your enemy, ego sense, Shankaracharya is using the word enemy. Enemy means who always gives you trouble. Enemy means who always make you in trouble at any level. So other enemies are not always enemy, but this enemy, ego sense, is always enemy, permanent enemy. It will hurt you all time. It will make you miserable. So Shankaracharya says, understand, realize it, recognize it. It is your enemy by nature. And if you have won the war against this enemy, you should be more careful. More careful. Your enemy is very powerful, very cunning. It should not be given the slightest chance to reborn. Shankaracharya ji warning a seeker. Don't give any chance to reborn it. Now he's showing the way. How could it be alive again? What the method? So it is a way in which the sense of egoism becomes alive. He says, Vishayanu Chintaya. Listen very carefully Shankaracharya's words, very attentively. He says, Vishayanu Chintaya, thinking on sense objects. Every word is very important. Otherwise, we can miss the point. We can take it other way. So he's saying, Vishayanu Chintaya, thinking on sense objects. He's not saying it will alive by objects. Objects are not cause for ego sense. Objects are inert. They cannot do anything. How can they produce ego sense in you? They are outside. Ego sense is inside. And cause and effect should be seamless. If objects are cause, then they should be inside because ego sense is inside. So objects are outside, ego sense is inside, so they could be not cause. So it makes no sense to blame that objects are cause for egoism. Either you live with objects or live without objects, it will make no difference. And we do not have any option to live without objects. We cannot live because our body is object. Our body is an object. Our mind is an object. Our prana is also an object. This world is objective world. So we cannot live without objects. And objects are not coming to us by our choice. They come to us because of destiny, because of God's grace. We don't have choice. Renunciation of the objects, it makes no sense. Wherever you live, you have enjoy. So the decision is Shankaracharya is giving. Objects are not cause for transmigration. If objects had been cause for transmigration, no one would have been realized. Because objects are always everywhere, with everyone. Everyone. And Shankaracharya also had some objects, maybe little or more. less or more. So, cause for transmigration, objects are not. So what the cause? Vishayanuchintaya. Shankaracharya says, the cause for transmigration is ruminate over sense objects. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Lord Sri Krishna was asked by Arjuna, very important question. It was very important question. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha. Sthita pragya philosophy. In that process, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna, ध्यायतो विषयान पुंस संगस्तेषु उपजायते संगात संजायते कामा कामात क्रोधो विजायते. He said, ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसा. What happening? The cause is when a man dwells on the objects of sense, he creates an attraction for them. Attraction develops into desire, and desire breeds anger. So, Lord Sri Krishna says, thinks deeply what the root cause. Root cause is Vishayanuchintanam. Vishayanuchintanam. Thinking about objects. Objects are not sin or virtue itself. Objects are just objects. They are made by God. And God is not our enemy. So any object, it may be diamond, it may be sand, it may be water, it may be fire. They itself not sin, not virtue. We make them. We make them virtuous. So Shankaracharya says, Vishayanu Chintanam. Our thinking is the most important. Most important thing is our thinking. Vishayas are outside. They are perfectly right. But how do we interact with them? How do we interact with them? The point is, the art. Art is how do we interact with the objects? You go in the world, enjoy the objects without fear, fearlessly, no sin, no virtue. If you are hungry, eat food. What's the hunger? Hunger is your requirement, bodily requirement. So, if you are hungry, take food. Eating food is not sin, not a virtue. So, enjoy the world. It is made for you. So, without any fear, fearlessly enjoy the world, enjoy the objects. If you are hungry, eat the food. Any object, whatever your requirement and what is given to you by your destiny or God. Don't hate them. But when you return to back, that time give up all objects outside. Do not bring them inside. Do not ruminate objects. Use them. Enjoy them. After enjoying, thank to God every day. Be thankful, oh God. You have given so much. I'm enjoying. So objects are for using. Objects are for utility, not for thinking. And self is not for utility. Dwell about self. Think about self. But what we do? We do opposite. We think about object. When objects enter inside, then they becomes bondage. Then misery starts. Shankaracharya says, Vishayanu Chintanam. Chintanam. Use the object and just forget, give up them outside. If rumination of sense objects started, then this enemy will take root again. Whatever come in your way, according to your destiny, by God's grace, accept them. But don't stuck. Don't stuck. He says, the only reason is Vishayanu Chintanam. So give up the Chintan. He is giving an example like citric tree or any tree you can take, which was almost dried up. But when it comes contact with water, it becomes alive. So he is giving some instructions to seeker, having overpowered this enemy, be more careful. Be more careful. Now, next one. देहात्मना संस्थित एव कामी विलक्षणा का महिता कथम स्यात् अतोऽनर्थ संधान परत्वमेव भेद प्रशक्त्या भवबंध हेतु. I repeat again. देहात्मना संस्थित एव कामी विलक्षणा का महिता कथम स्यात् अतो अर्थ संधान परत्वमेव भेद प्रशक्त्या भवबंध हेतु. The meaning is that person alone who identify with the body is greedy of sense pleasures. How can one devoid of the body idea be greedy? Hence, the tendency of ruminate over sense objects is barely the cause of bondage of worldly existence and sense of duality. The translation one more time. That person alone who has identified himself with the body is greedy. After sense pleasure, how can one devoid of body idea be greedy like him? Hence, the tendency to think on sense objects is really the cause of bondage of transmigration, giving rise to an idea of duality. Now, thought is continued. The question arises, why do we think about objects? The point is, why do we think about objects? What the cause of desire? Why do we want something? What the root cause of desires? Why do we think about objects? Objects, how attracts us? Here Shankaracharya says, Dehatma. So think, desire is sign of incompleteness. Desire means demand, wanting. It is a sign. It is a sign of incompleteness. We do not have something, that is why we want it. If I'm not thirsty, I do not want water. I want water because I'm thirsty. I want. So think deeply. Shankaracharya is giving deep meanings. It is not just philosophy. It is just not knowledge. It is a deep process. It is a deep process. Just come and think. And today, when we were ready to start class, and we talked about swastha. In previous class, we studied about swastha. Swastha means swa and stha. So today's word is swa. In Sanskrit, swa means self, atman. For atman, for self, the huge word is swa. It is you know. And it is the real meaning of swa. But in Sanskrit grammarians say the word swa has four meanings, not one meaning. It word has four meanings. One meaning is self, that you should know. Another meaning is body. Body means your gross body, your subtle body, both. Another meaning is, third meaning is your people, family, friend, society, military, doctors, teachers, everyone. And fourth meaning is your property, wealth. These four meanings has this word. Its meaning is, first meaning is self, another meaning is body, third meaning is our people. They may be friend or enemy, both. And fourth meaning is our property, our wealth. So now see, the first meaning is self. Self is complete. So there is no desire. In self, there is no desire. No desire. Self is complete forever. Then second meaning comes, and it is our body. Because our bodies are very close to self. Our self expresses itself through the body. So our body is also like self. Like self. That is why we identified self with the body. Body is like self. But body is not complete. When we identify with the body looks like self, and everyone loves itself, herself, himself, themselves. Self is everywhere. Do you know? It may be herself, himself, they self, themselves. Self is everyone, and everyone loves self. When we identify with the body and we start loving the body. And body is not complete. Body is incomplete. And body has its requirement. It needs foods, water, clothes, shades, shelter, everything. And we provide. We provide. So second so is body. Then body is related. One side body is related to self, and other side body is related to other people. Mother, father, brother, sister, wife, husband, friend, enemy. They are also part of the body. They so much needed for body. Without them, body is not possible. Body cannot survive. They need. So body needs them. So for us, our people also becomes like self. In our scriptures, there is written, Atmavai jayate putraha. Atmavai jayate putraha. The father himself take birth as a son. Son is not different from the father. So father and son are not two. Atmavai jayate putra. So our people, our enemies, our friends, our family, our society also becomes beloved one. We love them because now they are for us. They are our requirement. So this is third one. Then for our body and for our cell, our people, we need wealth and we need. So we love the property. We love wealth, and we collect, we accumulate everything. And then the swa, fourth meaning is our property. So our property is like ourself. Sometimes it happens, some people who are very much attached with their property, they say, if my property has gone, I am gone. I am finished. I have no more. Because without property, I am nothing. So this meaning is for Dehatmana. Shankaracharya says their cause is when we accept that the body, the people, the property are myself, then desires will come. No one can stop. Earn money and earning money, then you start protecting money. How to protect? Key security, watchman, security person. For them, you need more money. So this way, its chain begins endlessly. Shankaracharya says the root cause is for desire only our identification with the body, with the people, and with the property. If you have identification with them, no one can stop your desireness. And another point, he says, if someone is disidentified with the body, that person can maintain everything properly and no desire. He has no desire. Someone disidentify himself, herself from these three: body, people, and property. Disidentify, then desire will not arise in his mind. And what happens? Then real love for all will arise. See, now we work. Work is burden for us. We need rest because we are working against our will. We don't want to work, but we have to work. That person which is disidentified with the body, this person has not its separate will from the God. God's will is his own will. And his work is an enjoyment. For us, serving a family is a responsibility. We are responsible. So it is not joy. We have to forcefully, because we have responsibility. We are responsible person. Responsibility is something which we are doing, not enjoying. Our responsibility is towards our family, our society, and we have to do it. But the person who is disidentified with body, person, relation, and possession, that person's life becomes festival. Festival. Every day is divine day. He does not go, he does not wait for any special day. As we wait, New Year will come, Diwali will come, Dussehra will come, Navratri will come, and we will enjoy. We have to wait for 1 year. I remember one saying in our Mahatmas. I would like to share that beautiful saying. And it is, first I say it in Hindi, then I translate. Sada Diwali Sant ki baro mas basant. Its meaning is, for a saint, every day is Diwali. Every season is spring season. Sada Diwali Sant ki, for a saint, for a realized person. Every day is divine day. Every day is special day. Why should we wait for 1 year for a single enjoyment? Every day is Diwali. Every day is full of happiness. Every season is like springs. We always complain to God, oh God, it is too cold. It is too hot. It is too rain. What does poor God do? Rain is, then you complain. Cold is, then we complain. Hot is, then we complain. Every time complain. Miserable God. And that person full of enjoyment. Zero complaint. No complaint. Full of thankfulness. Even God cannot make him miserable. The person enjoy everything. For him, heat, cold, rain has no meaning. Every day, every moment, he makes special. He makes divine. Kamayita. Shankaracharya says, he cannot complain to God. God's will is his will. So, desire is sign of incompleteness, and he looks very, very miserable. We want something and we don't get it. He becomes more miserable. So desire is sign for incompleteness, and that person is beyond all conditions. And Shankaracharya says, if desire comes, then endless story of the world, of the duality, I am the different, world is the different, I am the different, God is different, and duality starts. Now, next one. कार्य वर्धनात् बीज वृद्धि परिदृश्यते कार्य नाशात् बीज नाशस्तस्मात् कार्यम निरोधयेत्. Here is dark, but I'm enjoying. Really, I'm enjoying. It is the first time without light. In darkness, I can read. कार्य प्रवर्धनात् बीज प्रवृद्धि परिदृश्यते कार्य नाशात् बीज नाशस्तस्मात् कार्यम निरोधयेत्. See the translation. When the effects are flourishing, the seeds also are observed to increase. When the effects are destroyed, the seeds also are destroyed. Therefore, the effect must be subdued. See the translation. When effects are developed, the seed also developed to be such, and when the effects are destroyed, the seed also seen to be destroyed. Therefore, one must subdue the effects. Now, Shankaracharya is thinking the process of cause and effect. Cause and effect. The all universe is working according to this principle. The principle is cause and effect. There must be some cause for effect. If there is effect, then must be cause. If there is cause, there must be effect. It is very simple. The whole universe is working in this principle, cause and effect. The world is also working according to this principle. Our birth and our death also working in this principle. When we see a fort and we think there must be a cause, there must be its creator, because it is a creation. Every creation has its own cause. We see a building, a bridge, a airport, any big building structure, immediately our mind, their minds comes, there must be a creator. Yes, their creator is. Strangely, when we see Himalaya, we don't think there must be creator. When we see the water, we don't think there must be a creator. When we see fire, we don't think there must be creator. We should think. We should think. Creator is there. So Shankaracharya says there is a process, cause and effect. It is a continuation, it is a cycle, it is a net. This word is very strange. This word is very mysterious. How it works, only God knows. Knowing the word is not your concern. Your concern is knowing self. So we should break the chain of circle, death, and birth. Shankaracharya ji thinks about the principle cause and effect. We can understand very easily. If we can destroy one thing, other will automatically will destroy. They are always in pairs. They never exist alone. They appears to, but they are not to. Here he says, Karya Nasa, Bija Nasa. He says about Bij, means seed. Here is seed and tree. Seed and tree. Tree is life. The seed is also life, but in tree, life is more alive. So we can understand it easily if we take example of a tree. Tree wants to live forever, as every living being wants. He wants living forever. Animal also wants living forever. Creatures, gods, every living being wants to live forever. So same trees also want to live forever, but time does not permit to live forever. In Sanskrit, there is a saying, I don't know why Sanskrit is coming so much in my mind. Kalo Jagat Bhakshaka. The time is the eater of the universe. Time is the eater of the universe. It eats everything. So time does not permit to live forever. So tree takes another way to live. Our scriptures say trees are some individual soul, any jivatma, who experiencing their past life's deeds. Before, we did not believe. We did not believe. In our scriptures, there is written, give water to trees, they will bless you. And we used to think that this is nothing, foolishness. Now science says it is a fact. Science says tree is conscious. Tree has emotions. There is sadness, there is happiness, there is hunger, so many things. They are living. So now we start in faith in trees. So they make plan for their existence, how to live, and plan is they can live through the seeds. Tree produces seeds. The main purpose of the tree is seed. There are many other byproducts too, like they give us woods, leaves, flowers, oxygen, shadow, greenery, etc. They all are byproduct. The real purpose is seed. Seed is the last development in the tree, which would be cause for another tree. So this way, we can live in this way. So through seeds, tree can exist and multiply. Shankaracharya says, if you want to stop this cycle, this process, you have to destroy. You have to destroy tree. Then this process can be stopped. Same. Now next one. वासना वृद्धिता कार्यम कार्य वृद्ध्या च वासना वर्धते सर्वथा पुंसा संसारो न निवर्तते. I repeat. वासना वृद्धिता कार्यम कार्य वृद्ध्या च वासना वर्धते वर्धते सर्वथा पुंसा संसारो न निवर्तते. The meaning is, through the increase of desire, vasanas, egocentric work increases. And when there is an increase of egocentric work, there is an increase of desires also. Thus, a person's transmigration never comes to an end. Say the again translation. Through the increases of desires, selfish work increases. And when there is an increase of selfish work, there is always an increase of desires also. And man's transmigration is never at an end. Previous verse, Shankaracharya ji given a common example. In this reference, perspective of the Vedanta, what is he saying? Here, now he is using the example. We work for what? Do you ask any question about this self? We work for what? Because we have to work. We have no other option. In Gita, Sri Krishna says, Nahi deya vrata sakyam tektum karamanya sheshata. No one can give up all activities. We have to work. But now you think, what the purpose? Some activities are by nature, but some activities are by purposely. We are doing by purposely. What is the purpose? You make a notebook and think properly, note down it. In 24 hours, you worked continuously. Sleeping is also work. Waking also work. For what? For whom? We are sleeping. For sleeping? For what? For body. Waking for body. We are eating. We are meeting. We are going. We are resting. Everything, whatever we do, the only purpose is body. Our body. Only purpose for body. In Gita, Sri Krishna says once more, he says, Bhunjante te tvagam papa e pachanti atma karanat. The one who makes food only for himself, he eats sin. Listen, Krishna. He says, the person who makes food only for himself is not eating. He is not eating food. He is eating sin. It is not food. So what is the sense? We work always for the body. Vasana vriddhita. Why? Because we have so many desires. Vasana means desire. We want this, we want that. For whom? For the body. For the body. There are so many desires. And we have so many desires, we have to work more and more. Vasana vriddhita. karyam vriddhi. And then we work lots, then desires comes more. So Shankaracharya says, Vasana vriddhita karyam vriddhya, vriddhya cha vasana. And we are working so hard, we are earning so many fruits, and one life is not enough. Then we take another life. In that life also we work sufficient, then we have to take another life. We have to take another life. We have to take another life. Life after life, life after life. This is the sanskriti. This is the transmigration. So our work is for purpose for the body. Then the world will be continue. We cannot stop the world. We cannot stop the transmigration. If you want to stop the transmigration, your work should be self-centered, not selfish. Your work should be self-centered, not selfish-centered, not body-centered. It should be for everyone. Self is everyone. Your body is also self, a part of the world. You work, take care, but not only this body is for everybody, because you are everywhere. Because these instructions are for those seekers who are in advanced state. So Shankaracharya says you have to stop your vasana, desire, and they are rooted in your dehatmadhi, identification of the body. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Puna Puna Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.